Hello boys and girls, my name is White Rhino PSO, and today we are playing more American Truck Simulator. So, we just finished our first delivery, at least the first delivery that took us from one city to another, but before we pick up another quick job, we actually have a couple of emails to read. The first one comes from Bank, and the subject is Need Money, We Can Help. Dear Sir/Madam, we thought you might like to know that we offer favorable loans to new businesses. Do you need funding to get your business running? We are here to help. Please visit your local banking center for more information. Center with an E. Respectfully, Sales Manager at Bank. Well, sure, let's visit our local banking center. So, because we basically just started the game, but we've been doing decently well for our first delivery 0.5, we have a credit limit of $130,000. Now, if you add that to our $8,500, that's not going to be a whole lot of money. It should buy us our own truck, but we only have a level 1 profile, so we're not going to have access to the better engines and the better transmissions that will really help us once we start delivering things on our own. Personally, I prefer to do more quick jobs because then I'm sure that I'm being given a truck that can handle the job. And then trying to buy my own vehicle once I've made a bit more money and once they increase my credit limit a bit. So, our other email is from the truck dealer in Tacoma, brand new Peterbilt trucks for sale. Dear Sir/Madam, we are a certified retailer of Peterbilt trucks. We offer a wide selection of different configurations, and we can also perform customizations to accommodate any special wishes. Please visit our showroom in Tacoma. The truck you have always dreamed of might be waiting just behind the door. Best regards, your Peterbilt truck dealer. Now, I could also do that right now, but like I said, there's no real point because I'm not going to take the loan out just yet. I would like to do 1 or maybe 2 more quick jobs before we start thinking about really buying our own trucks. Now, like I mentioned last time, when I'm doing quick jobs, theoretically, I could now take a job from Olympia, Portland, Salem, or Eugene because I have technically discovered those particular cities. But we finished our last job in Eugene, so I'd rather take a job from there. So we could go back to Olympia with another articulated trailer, and it would be a pressure tank, but that would be a decent amount of money. Next option would be going from Eugene, Oregon to Bend, Oregon. It doesn't really say what the distance would be, but it wouldn't be articulated. And it would just be a normal delivery. You know what? Screw it. Let me go back to actual pricing. All right, that would take me basically back the same way I just came in the last video. So I don't want to do that. That one would take me further south to Medford. That would take me up to Portland, Medford, Bend. The Dallas. Klamath Falls? That's like a town name from friggin' Fallout 2. What kind of vehicle is this? A Kenworth? So I know that, like, while messing around in the vehicle showroom stuff, I know that the short-nosed Peterbilt has stacks on the sides that sometimes will block your view. I think the Kenworth might not be so bad. It's another goddamn articulated one. Yeah, let's give it a shot. Alright, so we're working for the Steeler. Is that a 2 or is it just a red box? I don't know. We're working for Steeler and we're bringing it to Steel. Scrapped cars. Nice. From Eugene, Oregon to Klamath Falls, Oregon. And every time you take a quick job, or really anytime you take any job, the game does have to load the world around you, as well as the vehicles and trailers. Now, you may have noticed something a little different right now. I have enabled a mod. One of the great things about American Truck Simulator and Euro Truck Simulator is that it is set up for mods both on the Steam Workshop, but also just to be installed, you know, picked up from other websites. So I actually picked up a mod before the previous recording that adds wintry weather. Now, it's not going to have any difference in the driving physics because I don't want to be sliding all over the road, but at least now the game world will feel like we're driving around in December. Alright, so we do have a bunch of wrecked cars. It's actually not that long of a trailer, which is kind of surprising. They're all netted down though too, which is kind of neat. So,
time to hit the road. Let's
fire this thing up. What do we have for dashboard information? Trip economy, fuel. Here we go. I'll go with the speed and the cruise control, just so it's easier to know how fast I'm actually going. And that should be it. Actually, what time is it? Does it list it anywhere? 5:39 p.m., but it actually looks fairly dark out. So, let's turn our headlights on, shifter into drive, and let's get going. It looks like the exit is around the entire building off here to the left. Sometimes the game will actually put other trailers around, and sometimes those trailers are ones that are part of jobs that you could pick up. So, in theory, if I had my own truck, I might have been able to pick up whatever job required me to move that blue container. I guess it is just a red box for the Steeler brand name. Alright. Left turn out of here. There's nobody coming on the right.
Turn left.
Probably should have stopped at that intersection. I just bounced up over the curb, too.
Get ready to turn right.
Alright, so this is just a stop sign. So,
turn right.
Assuming that nobody's coming from the left, you know what, screw it. I'm just gonna head on out. I was gonna try to do a rolling stop, but sometimes the brakes can be a little more sensitive than expected. Alright, so we are now parked. We're now parked like right in the middle of the intersection here because this other light is still red. It looks like this guy's bringing steel beams somewhere. I think I can beat this guy. Oh, maybe not. We're doing pretty good on not driving into anything with our double long trailer here. This thing is having a bit of trouble with 2 trailers worth of destroyed cars. And I am a little surprised at how dark it is for 5:30. I wonder if the mod also makes it darker earlier in the game, just because generally during the winter it does get darker a bit earlier than the rest of the year. Delta Highway to Beltline Highway. I may link the place where you can pick this mod up in the description, but I'm kind of iffy about that because a lot of websites that host mods for games like American Truck Simulator or like Euro Truck Simulator 2 or...
Keep right, and then exit right.
or even things like Farming Simulator, a lot of them host those
Exit right.
those files on websites that are kind of questionable. Like, if you're not careful, you might accidentally click on something that is... Jesus. If you're not careful, you might click on something that's actually, like, malicious, or an ad, or it might screw your computer up a little. And I don't really want to be blamed for that, just because I wanted to help people enjoy a wintry look to their game. Oh, it actually looks like Klamath Falls is not very far away. This might be another video where I end up doing a couple of deliveries at once. Alright, the trucks ahead of me are definitely not going the speed limit. Whoop, gee, don't you cause an accident on me.
Keep right, and then exit right.
Yeah, it looks like we're getting right back off the highway.
Exit right.
The speed limit for exits is generally a lot lower than it is for just driving the highway, or sometimes even lower than just driving through a city. And hopefully the delivery point for this articulated trailer will not be too difficult. Because I would prefer not to skip any drop-offs if I can help it, just because that's wasting potential experience. Maybe this was just the closest exit to Klamath Falls, but I still have to drive through a bit of single-lane back roads. Some school buses off to the right there. It's not always easy to find a comfortable position in a computer chair while being able to reach your gas pedal and brake pedal. Oh, I should probably mention that. I'm pretty sure it's called a Logitech G920. Beforehand, I used to use a wired Xbox 360 controller, but when the Utah DLC for American Truck Simulator was just coming out, I ended up watching...
Go straight on.
Yes, ma'am. I ended up watching a video by a guy named Squirrel, who, he is kind of a veteran of simulator games in general, if not, you know, trucking sims themselves. And he put out a video where he mentioned that the wheel that he uses is no longer being offered by the Logitech company. So his video was sort of comparing a couple of similar wheels for people who might be interested in picking one up for themselves. And in that video, he actually made the Logitech G920 sound good enough that I decided to go to Amazon.com to see if anybody was selling one. And normally they're $2.99, but... oh, Jesus, hit the brakes, hit the brakes. Normally they're $2.99, but for whatever reason, one was being sold for like $181. And given that I've got over 100 hours combined between Euro Truck Simulator 2 and American Truck Simulator, I figured it would be a safe bet to pick one up. And so far, I like everything about it. It's got like a nice leather feel to the wheel itself, which makes it easier to grip. It's got a little silver bit at the top, so you kind of know when the wheel is centered without even having to look at it. The only gripe I have is that the brake pedal doesn't have much movement to it, but I don't think I bought this new. I think this particular wheel that I purchased was used like new. So the brake pedal might be an issue that came up from somebody else owning it in the past. But because of that, I've had to map the brakes to the clutch pedal, which is fine for me because I never really had much interest in being super realistic with shifting, because a shifter controller would have been like another $100 all on its own, and then I would have had to worry about like a ridiculous number of gears that trucks have. It just didn't seem like something that would interest me. So I just have it on simple automatic, so all I have to really worry about is shifting it into drive, shifting it into reverse, or keeping it in neutral. Which also means that I can use the clutch pedal in place of a brake pedal. Which the only bad thing about that is my foot has to go quite a distance if I want to hit the brakes. I did not realize that this delivery would be would take this much time on like darkened single lane roads, and there aren't any good safe places to pass these guys either. And in fact, given how much this truck is kind of struggling to get up to speed with the load that I've got, I'm not sure I'd be able to pass them on a straightaway anyway. Yeah, see, they're pulling away from me, and I've got the accelerator down to the floor. Shouldn't be too bad, though. There is a 65 mile an hour speed limit on these back roads. And thankfully, the nighttime isn't too dark while I have the frosty weather mod on. Just because... Oh, hey there. Guy almost drove into me. But yeah, having my light and the natural moonlight reflecting off the snow means that there is still a little bit for people to see, even when you're driving at night. I know some players of this game that that record it for YouTube don't really like driving at night just because there isn't as much to see. It looks like the road might be opening up just a little, or maybe we're getting back onto a highway. Now, the bad thing about the fact that I live on the East Coast is that a lot of the different landmarks that people might know from America... You know what? I'm gonna try... Oh, no. Oh, thank God. Alright, I decided to try something dangerous and passed him, but that doesn't really help me because there's still a truck ahead of us. But anyway, I don't really know much geography, and I live on the East Coast, so there's probably going to be a lot of state landmarks that I don't really know anything about. I know the Grand Canyon is in. I know you can go down to the, what do you call it? The area near Area 51 in Nevada. I know you can go by, I think the Hollywood sign has been replaced by the name World of Trucks, which is a website run by the developers of this game that lets you kind of connect and do, like, chat with different people, post screenshots, and there's different events that pop up every so often. In fact, I am hoping to do a little bit of an upcoming event, because I'm pretty sure they do an event for every Christmas, and there aren't really many Christmas-themed games that I've wanted to play for the channel, so I figured, hey, why not do a couple of deliveries with a winter mod on. Oh, Jesus. Crater Lake. That's probably also a landmark that is interesting. I guess we'll have to swing by there another time, maybe. Actually, let me jump into the map just to see what that road looks like. Where the hell are we? Alright, it looks like there's nothing down there except for a rest stop, which... There's also a couple of rest stops over here on the main road, so we would never have to go down there just for the rest stop. Honestly, if it was daytime, I probably would have taken a short detour just to take a look at it, but yeah, given that it's like the dead of night... the hell time is it actually? It is... Where's my time? There we go. 9:37 at night. So yeah, we really wouldn't have been able to see much. Road work ahead. Oh, hit them brakes! Hit them brakes. Yeah, so, another thing that pops up every so often is random events. This road does not always have construction. Instead, every so often, like something like this will be just randomly placed on a different road in the game. Which is a really... I think it's an interesting way of, I guess, adding to the replay value. Making sure that players don't get bored with the same delivery paths over and over again. Though there is a pretty ridiculous amount of road work in this game. But I never get anywhere close to them just because I have... Oh, I can bypass the nearby way station. Nice. That's another thing that didn't pop up in the last video. Get off the road, please, so I don't have to lose too much speed. American Truck Simulator has way stations, and every so often, as you're driving, one will say to either pull in and stop at a particular point, and your truck will be weighed, or, just like now, it gives us the okay to completely bypass the way station. Now the good news is, the guy ahead of us was not allowed to bypass it, so now we can actually get up to speed, but since we're heading to Klamath Falls, and we just discovered Klamath Falls, and it looks like we're heading into the city anyway, so we're gonna have to we're gonna have to cut our speed down a fair bit. Yeah, we're not gonna be able to blow through this city as quickly as I would have liked. Haven't really been able to use the cruise control during this delivery. Oh, somebody was getting pulled over there. Get into the right lane. Generally, the right lane is for slower traffic. Well, I mean, not so much generally, but always. The left lanes are meant for passing. But usually, if I'm doing a longer highway trip, I kind of stick to a middle lane.
Keep right, and then turn right.
Because the number of times that you get into the right lane, and then it turns out the right lane is for... The right lane is for exiting only. So nice. So we can get off the main road here. Might have taken that a bit too quick. I keep the game with the default physics so far as, what do you call it, like truck rollovers and such. So I haven't actually gotten into an accident where I've rolled a truck. But I always get a little squirrely when I'm taking corners.
Get ready to turn right.
When I'm taking corners too quickly.
Turn right.
Alright, we are heading toward Avalanche Steel. I wonder if that's a sort of,
Get ready to turn left.
Oh, it looks like a dump. Like an actual dump. I wasn't,
left.
trying to say it was terrible looking. I use the paddle shifters on the wheel as my directionals, which sometimes can be difficult, given if the wheel is not...
You have arrived at your destination.
If the wheel
Route
isn't...
guidance is now finished.
Yeah, if the wheel isn't centered. Alright, so, holy shit, I would have gotten 270 experience for a place the trailer where they want me. Instead, I could do... I think I can do that. It doesn't seem like it's that far away, and this is a fairly short articulated trailer. Just have to pull out a little bit and then cut the wheel over. And hopefully that'll be more than enough time for the trailers to straighten themselves and get me into position. A little bit more. Uh-oh. Oh, thank God. Okay, park and brake on. Let's cut the engine and drop off those cars. Alright, 193 miles, almost 5 hours, 42.3 gallons of gas. So that gets us 311 experience, 4,188 money, an extra 38 bucks for... Oh, right, the proficiency bonus. Wait. Oh, because I was level 1, I got a little bit extra money just for already having a level, which... I don't know, it doesn't amount to a lot early on, but I think once you get to a much higher profile level, it might really add to your pocket change. 25 experience for the parking, and that brings us to level 2. Alright, so do we want to go fragile, just in time, or do I want to start opening up the hazardous cargoes? You know, given that we haven't actually gotten into any accidents, I think fragile cargo wouldn't be that bad of an idea. Because then we're going to be unlocking more cargoes that aren't part of the normal stuff or the high value stuff. I'm not sure. I think the one we just did was not a high value, it was just a normal cargo, because I can't imagine 2 trailers worth of wrecked cars being all that expensive. Okay, so let's go with fragile cargo. And it looks like we have another 2 emails to read. Special transports from dispatcher. Hello, boss. I have something special for you. Thanks to our connections, we're now able to get a real challenge. Some special, extra large and heavy cargoes need to be hauled by a true professional. It won't be easy, and it'll require some skills, patience, cooperation with escorting vehicles, and extra care. But I guess you have it all, right? I don't know if I'd say that. Also, bigger risk comes with bigger profit. If you're interested, you can visit these cities and then just a bunch of cities that have them on offer. So this is the Special Transport DLC, which, as you know, the email suggests, involves much bigger and much heavier cargoes, but also have some special rules, like there being escort vehicles. I've only seen a couple of videos of people doing these, and they do look fairly difficult. You can find them as quick jobs. I actually figured that out the other night when I was trying to test things out in preparation for these recordings. But I'm going to do my best to avoid taking any of those jobs just yet. Mostly because I have a feeling that I would end up screwing things up somehow. Plus, I don't know, I'd rather work toward getting my own truck and customizing it to my specifications before I start, you know, trying to deliver really heavy stuff. We also have drivers with own equipment needed from Steeler in Eugene. I think Steeler might be the company we just worked for. To whom it may concern, we are looking for skilled drivers with their own trucks for a large number of deliveries. We offer competitive rates up to $10,300 for a job. That's very specific. Please, if you have your own vehicle, inquire directly at our dock in Eugene. Signed, Steeler Eugene. Is that his name? I don't know. Anyway, this is just the game's way of suggesting, hey, if you buy your own truck, that means you can start getting better jobs, because using your truck to deliver other people's cargo, I believe, gets you more money than if you are using someone else's truck to deliver someone else's cargo. And I believe that's going to be it for now. We just hit the 30-minute mark now. I do want to keep these videos roughly the same size as some of my other longer videos, which is part of why I haven't been increasing our ability to drive long distances just yet. But anyway, as always, thank you for watching, and I will see you next time.